So my name is Serafina. I'm in my second year at the University of Windsor, and I'm in English literature and creative writing. I've been writing my whole life. I've been published in a couple of anthologies, and I hope that the University of Windsor helps me grow in my writing in that sense.
What made you choose to study English and creative writing at the University of Windsor?
Partially because it was nearby, because I live in Windsor. I've also heard really great things about the English staff there. Yeah, but mostly because it was nearby, it's close to home. I felt comfortable going there. I've been at the campus a few times and it just felt right. Yeah. So I'm in the Outstanding Scholars Program, which is a program that allows students to do research. So because I'm in English, it's not normal research. It's not what you would usually think, because science students would do research in a lab and stuff like that. But for English, it's more writing. So what I came up with was to write a poetry book and focus on the struggles and perseverance of women in society. So I wanted to call it All Women Are Objects because I wanted to kind of reclaim that phrase that's been thrown around by a lot of people. Yeah, just make it more as a metaphor instead of as an insult. I feel like if we can reclaim that back and use everyday objects to show the empowerment of women, that it'll help women in the long run, and it'll help us relate to each other's experiences. So I also feel like I should research, I want to research women and have them talk about their experiences and open up and make it into poetry, so make their trauma something beautiful.
Tell us about participating in Talks with Emerging Writers by Alexi and Guranasu.
When they asked me, I was really honored. I was able to talk about my work and have a platform to read my poetry and share my poetry to the University of Windsor staff and students, and just Windsor's anyone who else who decided to come. But yeah, it was really interesting to connect with someone who is around my age and who's pursuing a similar career as I am, just to see where they're at and how I relate to that. So my main thing is be an author. I have written a trilogy that I'm currently trying to self-publish right now through Outstanding Scholars with my research that might help me get started on that book and actually motivate me to take the steps to publish it. My backup is also to be an English professor, so I'm aiming to get my PhD in English and creative writing, and hopefully that would be my backup, but my main thing is to become an author.
And lastly, if you could give some advice to your past self or current high school students, what would it be?
Okay, so becoming taking the steps to become an author is difficult, to say the least. There's a lot of rejection in the process. So I would tell myself that she shouldn't give up, because there's a lot of people who will tell you what to do and what to write. And you have to make sure that you write for yourself and you don't change your writing or you don't change who you are just for someone else. And that's not to say that you shouldn't take other people's opinions into consideration, but make sure that you aren't compromising your own ideals and your own ideas when writing, or just with yourself in general, because this can go either both ways. You could talk about being a writer and not changing who you are, your writing style, or you can also apply it to being just a human in a society. There's so many different voices that want you to do certain things, especially women, which is another reason why I want to write this poetry book. But essentially just don't give up and be who you are.